Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Strap yourselves in for the Gaming Hub. With your hosts, Tyler.
You can't handle the truth!
Graham.
The force is strong in this one.
And Steven.
You cannot be serious!
Let's get started.
Alrighty then.
Hey everybody, welcome into the Gaming Hub. This is episode number 112. I'm your host Tyler, joined as always by our two co-hosts. Let's start with Graham. Graham, how you doing? What you been playing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And as far as what I'm playing, I felt like I've been playing a lot more than I guess I actually was. I played a bit of NHL 18 just because all the talk about the tournaments going on and all that stuff kind of got me excited. Not to mention there's a great trade in NHL. And other than that, I've been playing this game called Human Fall Flat. And that game is fun. It's definitely challenging, frustrating. Got some interesting puzzles. I don't know how far into the game I actually am. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what other kind of elements and stuff they add. But the physics, basically, you basically just come up with some ideas, like what if I stack this or hit this with that? And it does react to it, whether that's how they plan for you to solve that puzzle. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like that. It kind of gives me like a little bit of a Breath of the Wild thing where you're doing the shrines and you just basically, you have the physics of it, the objects, and you just got to figure out how to complete it. So, I've been enjoying it. How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Had a busy week. But I did get a decent amount of gaming time in, especially early in the week. And I put like 23 hours into Octopath Traveler since last Friday. So that surprised me because I haven't put that much time into a game in the week of release in a long time.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been quite enjoying that, and I'm gonna do a little review after the news segment, just quick, like, 2-minute thoughts. But I've been loving that game.
All right, cool.
And I'm just gonna jump in there. I just remembered when I was playing, and that was Dragon Quest Builder. I don't know how I forgot that one because I put a lot of hours into that game, and the game is super fun.
All right. Awesome. So I haven't had a chance to play as much this week. I played a little bit of Madden, like you, Graham. I'm thinking about tournaments, although I'm not thinking about the one that's like a month and a half away. I'm thinking about the one that's like a week away. And that reminds me, if you're interested in being part of our Madden tournament, you still have a few days to sign up. Go and do that. And we've already got definitely enough people to do one on the Xbox side of things. So if you have Xbox One, you have EA Access, you don't even have to buy the game. We'll be playing on Madden 18. So just go ahead and download it. Go ahead and sign up. We've got sign up forms in the different places you can go in our community to take part, which are Facebook, by the way. The Gaming Hub forums on Facebook. Go there. There's a sign up registration form for Madden there. Also on Discord, there's a registration form for Madden there as well. And the best ways to get to Discord are go through the Facebook group or head on over to Twitch, TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch, and our Discord link is right there below the video screen. And take part in the community that way. But the registration form is on both places, absolutely free to enter, and we'll have a prize for the winner. And if one of us wins it, then it'll go to the highest placing member of the community. So we won't... Steve and I actually watched a show like a couple weeks ago where they did a giveaway and the winner was like someone involved in their thing. And it was like, wow. But we won't do that. The winner will be the highest placing member of the community if, for some weird reason, by some miracle, one of us wins.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen anyway.
No, it's probably not.
Slimmer chance. If it's like Tyler against myself in the final, which there's a 0% chance that'll happen, then the two semifinalists will play each other, and the winner of that game will get it.
Yeah, so...
But these guys are just pretending that they're like really good at this game and they're going to be in the championship.
No, we're not
pretending. So, it's just in a weird scenario where
I know.
Excuse me. So if you have questions for us or any feedback, you can use our email, thegaminghubpodcast@gmail.com. We respond to everybody. So go ahead, and we actually gotten some stuff here in the past week or so, and really appreciate that. So if you want to help support the show, a couple different ways to do that. So on Twitch, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get a free sub to use on Twitch every single month. If you choose to use that on us, hey, we appreciate that more than you know. If not, use it on somebody. But you can sub to us on Twitch, either through Amazon Prime or through the regular way. And also, you can head on over to Patreon. We have a Patreon page. Patreon.com/GamingHub and take part there. And if you help support the show there, you get some cool stuff in return. So a few different things. And before I get into them, first I want to call out our latest patrons and thank them. Damien, Casey, and Sinette in the past week. Thank you guys. We appreciate it so much for helping support our show and our community. So what you get on Patreon, there's a few different levels you can go in at. Even at the lowest level, the $2 level, we're going to start doing something this weekend and having Patreon timed content. That's time exclusive for patrons. And our first one's going to be recorded tomorrow on Sunday the 22nd, and it'll be up that day. So if you're a patron, head on over there and look for that. And we'll be doing that at least once every other week or so, and sometimes more, depending on whether or not there's some cool stuff to talk about. So that'll be there, and then it'll be available for everybody a few weeks later. But if you want it right away, head on over to Patreon and subscribe for as little as $2 a month. But we also have a full $60 game giveaway that is going to start in the month of August now. We have enough people at the $5 and up level to trigger that. If you're a $5 and up patron, you are entered either with 1, 2, or 3 entries, depending on which level you're at, for a monthly $60 game giveaway that will start in August. And just a last quick note about that, I did send all of our $10 and up patrons a message about just confirming shirt size and stuff. We're gonna mail all that stuff out to you pretty soon. We're not gonna email your shirt. We're gonna mail it.
Yeah, you get a nice digital shirt.
Yeah,
Put on
we
your
email you a
avatar.
picture. So no, just confirming shirt size so we can get that all squared away and get that out to you in August. So if you haven't seen it and responded to it yet, please do that so we can get that taken care of for you. But that's all the plugs. We also have a YouTube channel, the Gaming Hub Podcast on YouTube. So with that, gentlemen, let's head into news for the week. And let's start with Remedy, one of my favorite developers. They really want to make another Alan Wake game, which is absolutely one of my favorite games on the 360. However, Microsoft owns the rights to it, and they need to greenlight it for it to happen. So what do you guys think? Would you like to see another Alan Wake game? And, well, first of all, do you think they're just putting pressure on Microsoft here?
Well, I think this is like testing the waters thing. Like, they want their fans to be like, yeah, we really want a new Alan Wake game, and that way Microsoft knows it's going to sell. Because the problem with Alan Wake was that it didn't sell very well, if I remember correctly. And despite it being a good game, it just didn't sell, and that's what Microsoft's probably worried about. So this is Remedy kind of calling fans to maybe give a hint and a nudge to Microsoft to maybe greenlight this project.
Yeah, Graham, thoughts?
Yeah, well, I haven't played the game. When the game came out, I just wasn't my thing. It didn't register. I didn't really know much about it. But I've heard good things about it, and I would say, yes, this is an effort. Say, okay, we are not done with our games, but we're looking to expand or make something else, and they'd like to do an Alan Wake. So I think they're kind of hint, hint, nudge, nudge, like Microsoft, green light this for us, and we'll be on our way. So I think it's subtle, but it's there. Hopefully they do get what they want, because I know, along with Tyler, people are big fans of this series.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I'm all for it, and I definitely would be interested into the sequel. I don't know if I'd replay the first one, unless it's one of those where you got to play the first one to understand the second one.
Yeah.
Then I might do it, but nothing's pushing me for play the first one.
Well, it's not a long game, and it's fun. It's a fun game. It reminds me of an adult version of Luigi's Mansion in some ways, because you have to burn the darkness off the zombies, and then you can shoot them. And I beat the game. I had quite a good time with the first game. I didn't actually play American Nightmare, but I have it. It's sitting in my ready to download. It's back on my Xbox. But
so
unfortunately, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did they have a mini web series or something based on Alan Wake? Because I remember I watched one,
maybe.
and I don't remember what game it was based on, and I watched the mini TV series.
I mean, but I don't remember, Graham. I don't. I want to say maybe that is kind of ringing a bell for me, but it's kind of a Stephen King-ish type of game.
Yes.
Even the setting, the author going into, the town that seems like a town in Maine, although I think it's set in the Pacific Northwest, right?
Okay,
But
you're
just
starting to
kinda-
remind me of that might have been the series I watched,
Yeah.
actually. Was there like a deer or something
It's-
in it?
It's
I'm
called
sure there
Bright
was.
Falls, and
Bright
it was
Falls,
it was a
yes.
prequel,
you
live
go.
action prequel to
Yep.
Alan Wake.
There you go.
So I watched that, but I never played the game, so I do
Okay.
know a little bit of it.
But it's a fantastic game. It's one of the very first games I played all the DLC for. Like, I got everything and played all of it. Couldn't get enough of it, and it got me hooked on Remedy's style of gameplay and their style of storytelling. So, and I've enjoyed pretty much every Remedy game since. And I'm hoping this becomes a thing. All right. So, staying with Microsoft, they're teasing a new hardware announcement at Gamescom next month. And I know there's the super optimists out there, everybody. They're like, God, I hope, I hope it's like the next Xbox console. It's not going to be that. They're not. Apologies to our friends in Europe. They're not going to make that announcement at Gamescom. They're going to do it at E3. Or in their own, like, controlled announcement environment. But the rumor is that it could be another Elite controller. So I bought the Elite controller. Which one did you guys buy it, and what'd you think of it?
I did not buy it.
I bought the console that it came with, and for Elite controller, like, you think, oh, this thing is badass. Like, I can drop it and it won't break. It'll last forever. Well, I
Yep.
was playing, I'm pretty sure it was NHL 17 maybe, and the left thumbstick broke, along with like 3 other controllers I
Yeah.
have. So then I'm like, not so Elite after all. I have this
Mhm.
controller. Controller's in pristine condition except for that left stick. So I
Hmm.
really hope they address it and make it so it's more battle, like it can survive me playing NHL. Like, that's all I need. I need a controller, the left stick. I don't know if it's me always like changing direction and going like speed skating, like with but they break for me. So I'm hoping they
Yeah.
do address this issue.
Yeah. See,
So go ahead.
the
Steve.
reason I didn't buy it was because I did buy the Elite controller on the 360, and it also stopped working. Like, I think it was the right thumbstick wouldn't spin as fast going one direction as the other.
Mhm.
Like, something about it just didn't work, and it made me mad. And then I was like, I'm not gonna actually use the paddles. I don't play shooters enough for it to take advantage of, and I stopped playing MOBAs at that time, or at least Smite, because that's the only MOBA on the Xbox.
Mhm.
So it's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But
Yeah.
but
so-
speaking of breaking,
Yeah,
oh
go ahead.
no, you go.
Well, yeah. So I was just gonna ask Graham real quick. So you got the first one. You didn't buy it individually. You got it with the console. But
Yes.
would you now go and spend another $150 or $200 on another Elite controller?
I don't think I would, just because if it's that much money, I could almost buy 2 or 3 ordinary ones, and if they break, then not as big deal. But if I buy this and it's the same issue, then I feel like there's a lot more to the risk. And
Sure.
I'm not gonna use the paddles on the back and all that stuff. I just want a controller that can survive me.
Yeah. I mean, same with me.
I make it sound like I'm terrible on controllers, but really I'm not.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
NHL just breaks controllers. I broke the left bumper off my Halo controller that I had. Well, I didn't break it off, but it just fell off. And I mean, that's probably a surprise to these two. They played with me. I rarely, if ever, use the left bumper. And for those of you that don't know, the left bumper is used to poke check. Wait, sorry.
No,
I
that's
messed
right
up.
bumper.
I
That's
messed
right
up. It
bumper.
was the right bumper. It was the right bumper. It's been a minute since I played NHL. It was the right bumper that came off, and it was because I poke check a lot. And yeah.
When you're saying that with the left bumper, I'm like, saucer pass? Is that
Well,
Yeah, it
no,
was-
the one
it
thing,
was-
the one thing Steve never uses is the right trigger in that game.
Well, that's
Um,
true.
I figured that
Definitely
was
not on offense.
No. So, yeah, I don't know if I'd buy another one of these. I tried playing with like the paddles and whatever on the back, and I found that when I was playing, I just never really used them. So I don't know if there's the part of me that would want to get it just because it's cool and new, and that'll probably lead to me getting it. Probably Graham too, but I don't know. Right now, I'd have to. I just kind of want to see what it is, and if it is the controller, we don't know yet. But if it is that, I kind of want to just wait and see and make a decision then. But we are going to see some hardware from Microsoft at Gamescom. That's pretty cool.
I wonder if we'll get a price drop for like any consoles.
Possible.
I'm
Yeah,
like-
that'd be a good time to announce it, though. Kind of going in towards the holiday season.
Mhm.
So, yeah, maybe. Well, I can tell you, most people are excited about hardware announcements from Microsoft whenever they happen, but something else they have coming that, man, it's just hard for us to all get excited for is Crackdown 3.
Yay.
Yeah, right? Graham, when does Crackdown 3 come out?
Next year.
Yeah, see, like you don't even know
February
exactly
22nd.
when. Yeah, it's February 22nd. But that's my point. Is like we're not even excited about it to really know when it's coming out. We could all probably name the release dates for like Red Dead and Fallout 76 and Call of Duty and Battlefield, stuff like that. I can tell you the release date for Madden. I know I'm going to have my hands on that game 2 weeks from yesterday with the EA Access trial. But like we couldn't even off the top of our head. Steven did. He must be excited.
Yeah.
But
well,
I can tell
just
you.
remember because there's 7,000 games coming out on
Yeah, I
February
know.
22nd. That's why.
But I can tell you it's definitely going to be February 22nd. Because it came out this week that Microsoft will not allow another delay of Crackdown 3. So, man, so does this tell you that they think it might need another one? Like the developer? What do you guys think?
Nothing is really sounding like optimistic about this game. So like they're like, no more delays. I don't care how bad it is, if not complete or whatever we're putting out. Like to me, that just doesn't sound good at all. So
No.
I'm glad I was never looking forward to this game because maybe I'd be let down. But yeah, this game, even if this is on, well, it will be on Game Pass. Maybe I'll try it then, but I have no desire to own this game.
Yeah, Steven?
Yeah, like the cynic in me is with you, and they're like, no matter what, this game's coming out. But I mean, the optimist in me is like, well, maybe they're just like kind of, confirming to the community that the game will be coming out that day, and they're optimistic that it's not going to have another delay, and that's why they're confident in saying this. But the way it's worded was like,
Yeah.
it could be a buggy mess, and it's still coming out on February 22nd.
There's a difference between the announcement Rockstar made, which was there will be no more delays. This game is absolutely coming out on October 26th.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a difference between that and this news story, which said Microsoft will not allow another delay of this game. Like, it's coming out.
Everybody in Microsoft will be working on it. Even the accountant or whatever. Like, we need everyone on this.
And, as you guys that are patrons will hear in our timed exclusive episode for you that we'll have up tomorrow, crunch time is something me and Steven have read a lot about in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it's that for this game right now. It absolutely is. And it did look to me like they changed a lot of the stuff in the game and the kind of the feel of it a little bit between E3s. Because the reception of it last year at E3 17 was not very good. Like, we all kind of came away from that saying, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And now this year, we were kind of like, you know what? It didn't look that bad. Kind of, maybe I'll give it a chance. We'll play it. I mean, if it wasn't on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't buy it.
That's why, like, Game Pass may be this game's saving grace.
Yep.
Because people don't, like, there's really no risk of spending all this money if you already have Game Pass. Like, well, I'll just download it, right?
Yeah, they need to be a pleasant surprise through Game Pass, and then, to make some money, use the DLC model to do that.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. Hopefully it turns out to be good, but we know for sure it's not getting delayed again.
Yeah. I'll download it the day it comes out, and I'll play it the day it comes out.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's fun.
Whether or not you play it again after
Yeah.
that, we'll see. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so the Xbox Summer Sale is going on right now, everybody, if you're an Xbox One owner. And there's a ton of games on sale. There are some good deals hidden in there, and you two guys have already bought stuff.
I have.
So
I
what have
have
you?
not.
I have not yet. So, Graham, let's start with you. What have you bought so far?
No, I didn't buy anything.
You didn't? I thought you said you bought something. I thought you said you already bought like 2 games.
No. Steven has done enough purchasing for both of us.
Okay.
So, because I've talked about my backlog and I've added
Oh,
stuff
that's
on all these
right, that's
deals.
right.
So I'm like, I can't justify buying anything else, no matter how good of a deal it is. If I'm not going to play it,
No,
it's not that
Graham,
good of a deal.
no, it's my fault. I got the summer sale confused with Fallout 76, and you've already bought like 4 versions of that. So,
Yes.
how many
No
versions,
shame.
Graham?
No shame. Well, like games, only 2.
Oh my god, only 2 versions of the game that hasn't
Yeah.
come out yet. All right,
Yeah, that's pretty good for a game that's not even yet.
I know. So, Steven, how about you? Because I know you've bought stuff.
I have bought stuff. I've been waiting for Pillars of Eternity to go on sale for a while, and it went on sale for a really good deal, and it was like $15, down from 50. So I picked that up because I really do like isometric RPGs. I picked up the Game of the Year Dragon Age Inquisition, even though I already owned Dragon Age Inquisition digitally, because I was hoping it'd be, a different version, so you get the achievement points again, like you can in The Witcher, but it wasn't. And then, the day after I bought it, I looked and I realized you could have just bought the DLC pack for like $4 cheaper. But again, I mean, it's $4.
Now who's
I'm
buying
not gonna-
2 games?
I'm not going to complain. Oh, I did that, yeah, with a few games, actually. I've done that. And then last night I also picked up Lego The Avengers. So there's 3 games, not a lot. But there are some good deals on there for those of you that may be looking for things or waiting on sales to buy.
No, I can vouch too. There are some really great deals. Like there is a combination of Wolfenstein 2 and what was the other one,
Doom.
you guys? Help me. And Doom.
Yeah.
For a package deal for.
And
really
there's
good
what?
price.
I actually don't think it was part of the game sale, but there was a sale for like Halo 5 and Gears 4, right?
Yeah.
A little while
I
ago.
bought that the last
Mhm.
game sale. There was another one. If for some reason you haven't owned these games and you want to, I feel like at this point you would have already. But there's a Fallout 4 and Skyrim.
Oh,
both
yeah, yeah.
complete
Yeah,
edition
yeah.
full packs.
Nice. That's a good bundle.
Yeah.
Another
like they-
re-release of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tyler, I think you said that you could get Xbox Live Gold for $40 for 12
Yeah,
months.
so through the Microsoft Store, so not through the console, but you have to actually go to the Microsoft Store website, and it's $40 there. But they are stackable. I mean, you can, I've had 11 months left or 16 months left, and I bought this when it comes up on sale, and it adds on to it. So, yeah, take a look at that, and that runs through when, Steven?
My birthday, July 30th.
Yeah. So, yeah, the entire sale runs through July 30th, which will make that day significant because it wasn't before.
Which
Oh.
is Steven's birthday, if everyone's
It is
wondering.
I just said that, Graham. It's like you just weren't even listening.
Mhm.
I just make an extra point for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, buddy. See, you're a real friend. Like Tyler.
All right. So, Graham, on the Nintendo side of things,
Yes.
when they're not out suing people, they are putting out upgrades for Unreal Engine 4. So,
Yes.
Unreal Engine 4 is getting an upgrade for Switch, and it's version 4.20. Haha, get it?
Yes. I do get it.
So it has significant CPU rendering optimization, support for dynamic resolution, and temporal upsampling, low latency frame syncing for controller input, and a lot more stuff involved in it. So, Grant, being the Nintendo apologist, Bobo, all that stuff.
I say defender because it gets
Sure.
attacked by you too.
Does not get attacked, it just doesn't get played.
Yeah.
That's all. Graham, why is this really exciting to me?
Why this
Why
is
should
exciting
it? Why
to you?
should it be?
Well, some people go with the argument about the graphics is not that great, which for some games, yes, I understand that. But what this means, the graphics will improve. I'm not going to say significantly, but they will be improved, and you will see better performance in future games. And that might even also allow certain games that weren't able to run with the former engine to run on the engine with this upgrade now, because it seems like they're focusing on graphics, right? And people don't want to put out like a port of their game and like for maybe get some backlash or for it not be as
Graham, you mean-
quality as they're looking for, right?
Graham, you mean like the WWE game from last year? Which was horrific, and they've now announced that 2K19 is not coming out.
Yeah. But
on
the
Switch.
thing is, like, can you blame the console for that when they were able to put out Wolfenstein 2? Because I don't see.
No, I'm not
like,
blaming the console.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the console probably provides some challenges
Yes.
that don't exist with the PS4 and the Xbox One. Like Unravel said they would love to put it on Switch, but that would take an extra 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted it out at E3. Last week we talked to Scott Drader. He said, he was very non-committal about Switch.
Nobody said that's what people want, so he said
Well, of
it's
course,
a
that's what
possibility.
people want. I mean, of course it is. I want Red Dead 2 on Switch. Not going to happen.
No, you don't. You want to play that game?
But no, I don't. But some people do.
Be honest.
Yeah, I don't. I want Destiny 2 on Switch. I don't, but some people do. But it's never going to happen. Because technically, the console can't handle the demands of those games. So
But this gets them closer, though. This gets them closer. I don't know how much closer, but this is good.
Graham, how many times has Close gotten somebody the gold medal?
We're not going for gold. We're going for
Well, obviously.
Yeah, what's the saying? Close or only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah. So, I don't know, Graham. I think it's good, but again, I'm sorry. You were telling me why I should be excited.
I told you why.
Okay, that's it.
There
I
will
can't
be some
force. I can't force
better-looking
you to be
games
excited. I'm
And
just
smoother
saying,
running games for
this-
sure.
This is good though. This helps developers. This gives an opportunity for other games that would not have been on the Switch to maybe come on the Switch now. So that's it.
Yeah,
So
and I think,
console, if that's
the-
what you're looking for. This has nothing to do with Virtual Console.
well, Graham, I think too, it's going to help games like Fortnite, which can be a big time, not a console mover for Switch, but something that keeps the Switch in people's hands. So I don't, I'm not playing super negative here.
Just a little.
I'm just playing devil's advocate for you because it's fun.
It's okay.
No, I mean, whenever you can make the
I know
experience
what I'm
better for
signed up
people,
for.
that's great. That's awesome. So, who cares? I mean, it's not a bad thing. And I'm sure there's some people out there whining about whatever. I just do it to, give Graham a hard time. But if it makes it better for people on a Switch, then awesome, do it. So, anything else on that, guys?
No.
All right, Steve, we're going to talk about your favorite genre in the whole wide world.
Yay!
Which
JRPGs.
is... Nope, shooters. So, Battlefield had their alpha recently, and they've talked about learning some stuff from that. Like, on the revive system and things like that. So, they're going to reduce the time to, revive people in your squad, but it's not going to change if you're a medic, which, like Graham, I've always said, I'm always a medic. But, I don't know, the big thing, and I want to ask you, Graham, and this is the reason I kind of want to talk about this. So, because, Graham, I think this is one game where you represent, like, a lot of the players who really like to play it. You represent a good size of people. In that you're not a KDR player in shooters. I don't mean that in a bad way. You're just not. Like if you're playing Call of Duty and you're counting on Graham to carry your team in deathmatch, it's gonna be a long day.
Play the Doom music. Cue it up.
But what we've always talked about Battlefield, what's always been great is that you don't have to be a great KDR player to really contribute to your squad and your team as a whole. It's like in modes like Conquest. So the fact that they're now talking about creating more like player-driven experiences that are based on skill rather than sort of the cinematic things I think what they're referring to there is like in Battlefield 4 where everything was destructible, right? And the skyscraper would come to the ground and all that stuff. Yeah. Is that what you want? Is that the direction you want Battlefield to go? Because you like Battlefield.
Yes.
So is that the direction you want it to go? Because they're comparing it to more player-driven, like skill-driven moments like in PUBG.
Yeah.
That's the game that got called out in comparison. So what do you think?
See, like you're saying, like I'm not like really big on my KDR, but I do contribute high score. Sometimes I'm pretty high up there in the high score because I revive, I capture, I assist, and I'm a great spotter. You should see me spot. Like I'm like, there's an enemy over there, and somebody will go kill it, and I get credit for that. But I did really enjoy the destruction of like the skyscrapers falling over and stuff like that. And I don't know. I would like to see that. And like we have Rainbow Six Siege, and I don't know. Maybe that's who do you want to compete with and stuff like that. But I don't want it to become too competitive where if I'm not a great shooter and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of torn on it, but I'm still invested into it. I'm gonna play it. I do like the destruction of it, and what I've seen of it, there's not a lot to give me reason for alarm. So I'm gonna be optimistic for sure.
Okay, well, you always are, Graham, and I appreciate that. Except with what's it called, Death Stranding. You're not an optimist.
Yeah, no.
But here's where I'm at, and I'm going to throw it to Steve because I don't see what you think about this. But I don't want the inclusion of Battle Royale modes in all these games to change and dictate the gameplay and the mechanics around that. So just to cater to that mode, and we've seen that occur with other types of games and other genres. So, Steve, what are your thoughts on that? And does anything about this concern you?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that hang up that some people have, and I think sales will dictate whether or not it continues. If Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty changes their gameplay to just appeal to the Battle Royale crowd and loses sales because then it's not normal Battlefield gameplay or normal Call of Duty gameplay, then maybe they'll learn their lesson. I mean, probably not. But I'm just curious how it would sell comparatively, or what the thoughts on. Because I know what you mean. Like I like Call of Duty probably a bit more than I like Battlefield, just because the maps are smaller.
Sure.
But I haven't played either one regularly since probably a good 5-6 years. But if I was like a Call of Duty player and the game changed to go to this like Battle Royale like PUBG system or Fortnite, and I lost my competitive like team deathmatch or search and destroy, like I'd be upset, and they're probably going to be throwing hate at developers if that happens.
I don't think they'd ever take away the modes. They've already taken away campaign.
Sure,
but they're not going to take away those modes. Those modes are super popular.
No, but I mean, like, the gameplay in it, though.
Yeah, the mechanics around it, like, the feel of it,
Yeah.
That's what I don't want to change. And, real quick, I just want to mention, because there is something else I want to kind of talk about here that I just thought of, but, Call of Duty in shooter news, the beta is August 3rd for PS4 players, and if you're an Xbox One player, it starts August 10th, and both run through the 13th. Also on PC on August 10th. So you get it for a whole extra 7 days if you're on PS4, so that's cool. And you have to pre-order the game, right, to get the beta?
Yes.
But Call of Duty is all in on Battle Royale this year.
Yeah, there's in fact, Blackout will be a beta in, I think it said September. There's not a confirmed date, but you'll be able to play the Battle Royale mode the month after.
So, but here's what I want to ask. PUBG came on the scene, and remember, PUBG was a Game of the Year finalist. Like, an unfinished game. And we kind of hammered on it for that. And we didn't hammer on PUBG. We hammered on the Game Awards for making it a Game of the Year finalist. Everybody thought PUBG was like the greatest thing that had ever happened, and then came along Fortnite and absolutely steamrolled it.
Yep.
Can Call of Duty Battle Royale Blackout compete with Fortnite?
No.
You said why?
No, because so I work with children, and the kids at my school absolutely love Fortnite. They do the dances all the time. That's all they talk about. It's all I've heard for the last 6 months. It's driven me to not like the game very much, to be quite honest with you. But like one of them was telling me back in like May, in May, when it was announced that Black Ops would have a battle royale mode, and they're like, yeah, I mean, Call of Duty like is coming out, but it's gonna be $60, and that right there was like, to me, it was so like to us, we buy games at $60, like, well, half the time, like, it's just no big deal. $60 is a lot of money to a lot of people, and it's a lot of money to me. This is what I spend my $60 on,
right?
As opposed to other things.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to be able to draw that big crowd because no one's going to want to pay $60 for Call of Duty when you can play Fortnite. Because you have a coworker, and I'll let you talk about that, that is a big Fortnite fan, but I don't. Why go switch games when you have to pay $60 when you can just play Fortnite for free?
Fortnite to me is the perfect storm.
Yeah.
It appeals to young people because it's less like gruesome, for lack of a better word, and realistic, so to speak, than PUBG. Right? It's more cartoony. It's free. It has like these addictive like dances and stuff. And it's free. Let's throw that in again. And that just creates this perfect storm where now streamers like Ninja and Dr. Lupo and all these other people play Fortnite. And they have like hundreds of thousands of people in their stream on a regular basis. A lot of them are kids. And it just becomes like this phenomenon.
Yeah.
But I think there's such a low barrier of entry to this because it doesn't cost anything. Anybody can pick it up and play it. All you have to have is the console or a computer or whatever.
And any console too.
Or a phone. Right? So...
Yeah. And like you mentioned that the streamers, like for those of you that have listened for a while, like, I like chess and I watch some chess streams, and there's a chess streamer I watch that also now plays Fortnite, or started a while ago, and I don't watch it when he plays Fortnite because that doesn't interest me. But it's just kind of funny that like these like chess grandmaster, and granted he's like 25, but plays Fortnite like once or twice a week, and I think he was in a tournament this weekend for PUBG. But it's just funny how big that game has gotten across like all walks of life.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. And to build on that, you mentioned it earlier. Like, I work with somebody, and I've talked about it on the show before, but like her daughters have a PS4. Like, she had no interest in video games at all. And I'll throw out the titles of other games, like popular games like God of War. And she'll be like, yeah, I don't know what that is. But she loves Fortnite. And she's either playing it or watching Twitch streams of it. And it's the weekend, so she's probably watching a Twitch stream right now of Fortnite. And she has, donated to the streamers and all that stuff, to like Ninja. But the streaming thing does play a role with the popularity of Fortnite, and I don't think Call of Duty is going to be able to match it. I don't think they're even going to get close, for that matter.
But yeah, like, I think the price, that's the biggest thing. But I think because the big thing about Fortnite compared to PUBG is, besides free, is the building aspect. And me personally, I hate that. That's not my thing. I'm not into that. And I think a lot of people are like, I don't care about this building. I just want to play a good battle royale. So I think that's the only kind of saving grace. It's not enough as a free game as Fortnite is that will entice people to play it in Call of Duty. So I think Call of Duty, because Call of Duty has a strong fan base, really strong fan base, had for a long time.
Yeah. People
love that type. So I think if you do put in Battle Royale in Call of Duty, it can prove to be somewhat successful, for sure. I won't be surprised if it becomes huge. Like, I don't think it will compete with the numbers that Fortnite is putting out.
No.
But I think it could be very competitive to PUBG, probably be more successful than PUBG.
Oh,
so
without a doubt.
I'm definitely curious to see how it goes. But Call of Duty would be the one to pull it off.
So here's the question: like, where does Battlefield Battle Royale fit into this? Because Battlefield doesn't pull the number. Well, it's coming.
Yeah.
They don't pull the numbers in sales that Call of Duty does.
Mm-hmm.
And is it gonna be as big as PUBG?
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be an additional mode that people will play, but I think people are going to go for the conquest experience and mainly. But it's not bad to have a different play option, but I have no desires of playing it. Maybe I'll do it for the achievements. I don't know.
Well, you kind of asked this question earlier, but I'm going to bring it back full circle. I think people will be upset if they focus on like the Battle Royale mode in Battlefield at the expense of the regular multiplayer. Because I feel like probably a good amount of Battlefield fans look for the regular Battlefield experience and may not be wanting a Battle Royale or feeling like they think they might want it, but then if they actually get it, that's when we're going to see some hate being thrown around, potentially. But we'll see. I guess only time will tell. Like we'll find out in the next 4 months.
Yeah. Like I understand the cash cow. Like everybody knows Fortnite is the most profitable game like per month out there right now. So everyone wants to jump in on that, but like
and profitable on many fronts, Graham.
Yeah.
Because not just the game, but like even in the streaming world, like the people who play Fortnite and are really good at it, they're your biggest streamers right now, pretty much across the board. Outside of like the always tried and true ones, like Dota, whatever, right?
Yeah, sure.
But in terms of the games that kind of go up and down, like Fortnite's king right now. So, all right. Anything else on that, guys?
No.
All right, cool. So let's wrap up news, and I want to go to Steven real quick because you've been playing some Octopath Traveler.
I have been playing.
Yeah. So tell us what you think of it, and give us a review where you spoil everything, right?
Yes. Yeah. Make sure I'm gonna spoil everything. I'm gonna talk for 45 minutes. No. It's just quick hits. The art path, or sorry,
the art path.
Well, the path they went with the art style is amazing. Like I love the artwork, but I've grown to love the sprite, like appeal, like of the game. I like the sprites. The game looks stunning on the Switch. I have not played it undocked. I've only played it docked. So I play on my 4K TV. But I think it looks gorgeous. And the music is absolutely phenomenal. I know there are people that, especially that play undocked, that don't play with the music or don't play with sound on because they don't want to annoy, they don't have headphones and they don't want to annoy their fellow passengers on the bus or the train or whatever. But you need to put the headphones in because the music is really good. But the gameplay, as I've said before on countless times on the show, gameplay is king for me, even more so than story. And the gameplay is just really, really addicting and fun for those of you that like turn-based RPGs. There's like a brakes or a boost system. If you played Bravely Default, it's the same type of system as made by Square. That you can you get a boost point every turn, and then you can use those to attack 4 times in a turn, or make your magic 4 times not 4 times as powerful, but more powerful. And if you use it, you don't get the boost on the next turn, but you can use that, and it offers a lot of variety in the battles, and it's kind of fun to break the enemies. And you break them, you basically stun them, and they can't move for the next turn. And so it's really effective against, and every enemy can be broken, so bosses and all that. And it's really effective for doing lots and lots of damage and keeping your people alive. And the variety between all the character classes is not bad. There's 8 characters. Each of them have their own specific job, and then later in the game, minor spoilers, so plug your ears for 5 seconds. You can unlock the secondary jobs, and that can customize each character even more. But the gameplay is super addicting. Like I haven't enjoyed grinding in a JRPG ever, and I've enjoyed it in this game. It's just fun to battle people, and then you get the experience and the gold, so it's nice there too. And finally, the story. It's not the greatest. Each character is separated from each other, and no stories interlap. And supposedly there is a final area that does interlap all the stories, but for right now, each story is its own thing. Now your characters are still with them, or the extra, the other 7, but the story is each individual person's, depending on which chapter you choose to go to, and that can maybe be a little jarring to some. But it doesn't bother me that much, and it's full of the normal RPG tropes. So if you're looking for like new story, you're not going to get it here. But the gameplay is what makes this game definitely worth buying. And if you like JRPGs and you have a Switch, I definitely say pick it up.
Highly recommended by Steven. You have it.
All right.
Octopath Traveler.
Yeah. You were super looking forward to it, too. So I'm glad to see you kind of got what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so many games that, and I think you're going to have a question for me shortly about one of them. So many games we get really excited about and not so much, right? Yeah. But I'm glad you got that. So with that, let's wrap up news, guys. And let's head into releases. And we'll start with Xbox, where you can get another game that was super anticipated a few years ago and just did not deliver. But it's coming out completely revamped on the Xbox One, as well as a massive update on the PS4. That's No Man's Sky on the 24th. So you can get that. You can get Train Sim World if you're into that. Steve, you kind of like those kind of games, don't you?
I like simulation games. Yeah. I haven't heard of Train Sim World, but
Train Sim World. Well, it's right up there with that horsey game you're going to get later, right?
Sure.
That's also on the 24th. And you can get Super Blackjack Battle 2 Turbo Edition. I didn't even see Super Blackjack Battle 1. But this is the Turbo Edition called the Card Warriors. You can get that on the 25th if you so choose. So, Steven, what can you get on PS4?
All right, so on the PS4, you can get the Mega Man 10 Legacy Collection 1 and 2. That's on the 24th. You can get the Council Episode 3 Ripples on the 24th. And finally, on the 26th, you can get the Banner Saga Trilogy Bonus Edition.
All right, Graham? Nintendo?
Okay. Yes, for
30
Nintendo.
games a week, right?
30 games a week.
Right.
Starting with No Man's Sky. No. Sorry, no. No Man's. Don't kill me. No Man's Sky is not coming for the Nintendo Switch. Maybe with that new Unreal Engine upgrade in future, but we'll just leave it at that. But I don't like to correct Steven, but sometimes I have to. But the first game on my list is Mega Man X Legacy Collection. It's not Mega Man 10. It's Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2, which will be on July 24th. On the 26th, you can get the Banner Saga 3. And on the 27th, we have a game called Hello Neighbor. And
Hello Neighbor, had you seen anything about that, Graham?
I have not actually.
The reviews were terrible on the Xbox.
Yeah, it was a game that looked really fun, and then the reviews were horrifically bad. It was just... It had a cool premise, too. Wasn't it like you have to find a way to escape the house?
No, you have to go into the house and try to find the neighbor's secret, but the neighbor learns your path actually. Like, based on the stuff you try to do, the AI figured out ways to counter it. So if you were trying to sneak in the back, there might be a lock on the back or something like that.
I mean, it was a cool premise, and I was actually really interested in it, because it was like earlier this year, right? Wasn't it like March-ish or so on the Xbox One and I think PS4? And yeah, I was actually kind of planning on getting it, and then I saw the reviews, and I was like, nope, we're going to walk slowly backwards from that one.
Yeah, I did choose that one just because I knew it was on the Xbox, so I figured it would be something people might be familiar with, and we're looking forward to it. But if there was issues and they were apparent, maybe they corrected them for this version.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Hopefully, but I would, if you're thinking about getting it on Switch, take a look first. Not that I want to bash any developer or anything, because everybody works super hard on their game, but yeah, like just take a look, make sure it's exactly what you want before you spend the money on that one. So, all right, let's go to listener questions, and Steven, what do we got this week?
All right. Well, first question, as Tyler alluded to earlier, from Piracy asks, this past week marks 4 months since Sea of Thieves came out, and Tyler defended it as having enough content. Do you still feel the same today?
Okay, so yes and no. All right, and I'm going to just clarify that real quick. I stand by the review I wrote for it. I stand by my initial thoughts on the game because I thought a lot of the outcry and outrage around the game was unfounded and due to feeling entitled rather than anything else. Because if you remember, the early cries about the game were more about the cosmetic items to like put on your ship and everything than they were about what you can actually do in the game. And that came a little later. Okay? So as far as the cosmetic items go, like they always had a plan to put out more of that stuff and keep breathing life into the game in that sense. Now, here's where I'll say yes, I'm a little disappointed. I don't really feel pulled to go back to it, and I haven't for a little while.
It's true. I've asked him a few times, like,
Yep.
let's play Sea of Thieves. Like, nah, I don't feel it.
I don't know, Graham. I don't even say that. Let's reenact, Graham.
Okay.
So, ask the question.
Hey, Tyler, we should play some Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
That's more what it is.
That's pretty much what it is, yeah.
But so here's why I feel that way. Because I hate, so one of the things I hate about RPGs in general, and see, we're not going to get into a conversation about this right now because we only have so much time.
He's
But
grinding his teeth right now.
they are, and sometimes Graham games like your Fallout 2 and stuff like that. So
Where's my knife? Where's my knife?
it turns into a lot of fetch quests. And I hate fetch quests, like more than anything in the world. It's so boring. And Sea of Thieves kind of is just fetch quests.
Yes.
It really is.
Oh, that's 100% what it is.
And really, they could call it Fetch Quest Simulator on the ocean. And that's pretty much what it is. So that part gets really disappointing. Now, what I always said about the game, and the promise of the game, was that you kind of create your own experience, and you can go to start a fetch quest, to get however many skulls or find a chest or whatever, and bring it back and sell it. And then you get diverted by whatever, and it turns into a whole other thing. But what's ruined that is the fact that everyone else is pretty much a giant dick. That's out there. And they don't work together to do stuff with you. They just try to troll you. And like, if they attack you, that's cool. That's part of the game, and that's being a pirate and whatever. Like, that's fine. But when it turned into a thing where they would sink you, like if you happen to not win, because I can say for us, like, if we have emerged victorious in those battles, we don't like try to find where they are again and like ruin their life, ruin their experience. We just keep going. But there are people who would sink us and then come back for us again and again and again. And then we're like, you know what, we're done.
Mhm.
Let's go play the game that makes us even more agitated than that, which is NHL. And that's what we would do. So that part of it became not fun. Now, that said, I haven't played a lot of the new content that they put out, and everything I've seen is that it has breathed a lot of new life into the game.
Yes.
And that it's changed the experience quite a bit. So without having experienced a lot of that, I can't speak for it, but from what I've seen and heard from a lot of other people, it has really done what it's meant, what it intended to do. So I would say give it another shot. I should practice what I preach there. But like after it came out like a month and a half later, I was just kind of, you know what? I'm good for a little while, but that's not to say I won't revisit it again. So, any thoughts on that, guys, that you want to add?
No, I mean, maybe we could play later this
Yeah.
weekend.
Maybe. Well,
We'll
I
see.
feel like this is kind of like a No Man's Sky scenario where the game came out and people were very disappointed, didn't like it, found it was really boring right away, and they're like, I'm never playing this game again. And then they're like, okay, well, now we've updated so much and it's gotten so much better and it's worth trying now. But the thing is, like, this is like the industry now. There's so many great things coming out that if you don't hit it right off the spot, you're going to suffer. And it sucks because these are great games, especially like with the updates now, right? Basically, the game is to what they originally intended to, but they weren't able to for whether it's time restrictions or whatnot. But so I feel like I want to get back into Sea of Thieves just because it should be so much better. But the thing is, I'm going to get No Man's Sky because it should be so much better as well. So sometimes now you're almost better off just waiting and not buying that game right away, because especially for these types of games like open world and stuff like that. So I don't know, like it seems to be a going trend. So maybe that's
Graham,
what I'll do next.
You know what? When you started saying that, what it made me think of, because I think for you and me especially, and Stephen, this might be true for you as well, but the parallel for me is actually The Division.
Yes, that's another great example.
Do you remember when we played the beta for that?
Yes.
Like, we were like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And I actually had the same feeling when I played the first Destiny beta. And we didn't play that together, but we played Division beta together. I almost said Division 2, but that's next year. But the Division beta, we were like, this is amazing. I can't wait for this. And Graham, you even went out and bought it. This is not normally your type of game.
No.
Like, you were kind of excited for it. And then it came out. We were like, man, that's it? Like, that's what we played in the beta is pretty much what it is. And that's kind of unfortunate. So the beta was almost more of a demo than a beta. But in Sea of Thieves was kind of the same way. Like, we played the beta, and like, Steven was right with this. You were the one who was right. Because you were like, man, I don't want to play any more of it, because I don't want to ruin the game for me. Whereas me and Graham were like, every time there's a beta up, we're like, let's go, let's play. Because it's so much fun. But then the game came out, and we're like, well, at least I was. And Steven definitely was. So, yeah. All right, next question.
All right, this is a Graham-specific question from KC. Asks, which Zelda game is better, A Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time?
Okay, so if I had to pick one, obviously I do, I would go with Ocarina of Time, just because the dungeons just came so more like puzzle driven, and like you could do more. Like, for example, you could put on iron boots and walk up the wall, and then you're up to the ceiling and you're walking upside down because you have iron boots on.
Spoilers.
Then, it's not really spoiler. It's basically anyway.
God, go.
Yeah. So, but it adds so many like elements to the game. Like, it's so much more. Like Link to the Past was a great game. That was like my first real experience with Legend Zelda. But the world of Ocarina and the puzzles and the dungeons, it just makes it a far superior game. And you can ride a horse, which people like riding horses, like Steven, for example, in games. So yeah, it's they're both great games though. But if I had to pick one, it's Ocarina for sure.
But Graham, you don't like riding horses in games.
I said other people.
Okay.
It offers that element.
Why don't you like riding horses?
Epona is a nice horse.
Graham, why don't you like riding horses?
Because it's so uncomfortable. I don't understand.
But it's not real. It's a video game horse.
No, I don't mean. I mean in real life.
Oh, okay.
I ride a horse
so that translates into video games for you?
No, it just gives the option for people and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's the reason why I don't like Red Dead, because you ride a horse. Because The Witcher, I enjoyed riding a horse.
Okay. But Graham, you can't say you don't like Red Dead because you haven't played enough of Red Dead to say you don't like it.
It's true.
That'd be like me loading up like the loading screen for Zelda and saying I hate this game.
Yeah.
This game sucks.
Well, that's basically what you did, so.
No, it's not.
But I didn't say I didn't like Red Dead. It doesn't bring me back. It's not, there's no pull in it to it. Like, there's other games that I would rather play, and I don't know. Just
so disappointing. But okay.
You've disappointed me on many levels, many times, Tyler. So.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes.
So, all right, what do we got next?
All right. Devin CS, what's your favorite phone game to play?
I'll go real quick first. Mine are the like turn-based games, so like your Words with Friends or like Dice with Buddies, stuff like that, which is basically Yahtzee. And Words with Friends is basically Scrabble. So stuff like that where you like don't have to, you can do a turn and then wait for your friend to do it. And you don't have to jump back to it right away. I think there's like, if you don't play and make a move in like 4 or 5 days, you end up forfeiting, but yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't play much on my phone as I used to, but one game that the obsession has almost been reignited, it's pretty much on the cusp, is Pokemon Go. I've been
Ah.
catching the 3rd gens and 2nd gens, and that's another game too that has vastly improved now. You have little quests, now you do raids and fight battles at gyms, so it's definitely made it more appealing, and it's getting me outside, and I think a lot of other people are getting outside because of this game. So that's the game I play.
Graham, has the integration with the Let's Go games, the announcement about that, made you pick up Pokemon Go again?
Yes, that's it.
Well, then
And
it's absolutely worked, right? Then that's why they mentioned it.
It's
So
absolutely worked.
Yep.
Since E3, I think it was maybe the day after they had the Nintendo conference, or
Yep.
whatever you want to call it, the Treehouse. I downloaded it, and I've been back into it, yep.
All right, cool. Steve?
Mine's chess. I just love playing chess on my phone. It's translates well to it.
Does, yeah.
Like Tyler, that you can play on the chess app, the chess.com app. You can play games where you have like a day to move, or you can play up to 4 days before you forfeit. And so you can get a game in just, when you get a break from work. That's what I was doing for a while. Like every time I had like 5 minutes, I'd go on there, make my move, and then send it over. And then, 2 hours later, when I had another break, play again. So
Yeah. What I hate though, real quick, is any mobile game that's like you're out of turns.
Yeah. Like
Pay
Candy Crush.
$3.99 for more. Whatever. Like I hate that.
Or
That's-
go bug your friend on Facebook to send you a
Yes.
like.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
And then
Yes.
you get getting the Facebook request is the worst.
Yeah.
And then I lose that friend. It's like, well,
then
no longer
more
friends.
Yep.
no gift and no friend.
Yeah.
All right. What
All
else?
right. All right. Brian R asked, "What's the biggest disappointment this generation?" That's a tough one.
This generation, biggest disappointment. What could it be,
For
like
me,
Thieves, Tyler?
no, it's not Sea of Thieves. No way. Like that's nowhere near. So for me, it's Microsoft early on. It's the way they rolled out the Xbox One. Because I actually thought they had some good ideas in there. They did an absolutely terrible job of presenting it. And I think that the tone around that and the reception to it has defined Microsoft and has overshadowed all of the great things that they have done in the last 5 years. Like, game sharing is great. The Kinect never should have been bundled in, but I did like that I could verbally control a lot of stuff with it. I use that thing constantly.
Yeah, same here.
Xbox on all the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
And I use it all the time, and I use it to navigate back and forth between like cable and the game and whatever too. I did all of that.
Oh yeah, when you had like Snap mode or whatever it was called. I forget
Yeah.
what it was called.
I never used Snap. It was way too tiny.
Graham, do you remember how upset you were when Snap went away?
I thought it was gonna come back. I really did.
You were like upset. You were like, "This is it."
That's my biggest disappointment. You just brought it out, so there's my answer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, there was a lot of good stuff that the Xbox One had, and the whole conversation just became about, TV, Call of Duty. Which funny, like, where's Call of Duty now?
Yep.
PlayStation.
Like, yeah, just saying. And TV. What did PlayStation do next year at E3? Announced a TV show. That Powers TV show or whatever. So, the Xbox did lead the way in a lot of stuff, and I just think they did a terrible job at messaging. And thankfully, it led to Phil Spencer coming in the lead role and kind of righting the ship. So, that's mine. Graham, how about you?
Yeah, like I said, taking the Snap mode away, because that was honestly something I used all the time, especially if there's like a NHL game on TV, like I don't want to watch my Leafs. I just have that little up in the screen where I could see that, and maybe I'd even play an NHL or I'm doing whatever. I loved it. I used it all the time, and when it was taken away, it was like part of my world was just ripped away and never been replaced.
Did you stay in bed for 4 days, Graham, and just be like, I can't go on?
I tried calling work, but they wouldn't take that as an excuse.
Okay.
I'm like, there was a death in my life.
Were you playing that song? Was it Wild Horses?
Yeah. Couldn't drag me
inside
away.
jokes are great. Steven, how about you?
Mine's the lack of Xbox exclusives.
Yeah.
The best thing on Xbox are 360 games for the most part. Like, there's some good games on the Xbox, but most of them are multi-plat. PlayStation's been, especially recently, have been kicking out really good exclusives, and Microsoft just hasn't, and that's been a disappointment.
I'd argue, Steven, that Xbox led the way in exclusives the first 2 years. I think they did. Sunset Overdrive, Halo 5.
Yeah, but then you had the console was only at what, like 900p or something like that. That was another disappointment.
Yeah, that was that stuff. But the games were there early.
But they were all sequels. Like there were no.
Well, Sunset wasn't.
Okay, Sunset, but then Bryce wasn't actually that good.
No, well, Rise was supposed to be a Kinect game.
That's
originally.
True. You did get a new Halo. You got a new Gears of War, but like in Forza. 1,000 times since 3 times, but
and I think if we liked Dead Rising more, we'd be talking about that, but neither of us really like it that much. So
is that exclusive? I thought it came out on the PS4. Could be wrong.
No.
Anyway,
not the last one anyway. So
yeah, it's just that's to me. It just this generation didn't feel as good as last generation. Sure. That sucked because the 360 and PS3 was a really good generation.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. How about one more?
All right. Let's see if I can find a quick one. All right. We'll ask Jamie's question. Jamie M asks, what extreme sports game besides Skate 4 would you all like to see come out?
Good question.
Darts.
A new SSX.
Darts? Did you say darts? Oh man. Yes. Let's have like Sports Bar the game. No.
Are you saying Pool Nation FX didn't do it for you?
No, not really.
Because I put like 30 hours in that game. Probably not that much, but I put a lot. Because it was like the only game on the Xbox for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, how about a game called Steep? No, there is one. Steep bought it.
I did buy it.
Yeah.
Regret that.
I did like what he mentioned in the question of like an X Games type of game. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, I would be all about that, actually. I used to watch the X Games all the time. I haven't in the last couple of years, but yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, like a tournament, like X Games, all the different types of sports. That'd be pretty cool.
I'd prefer winter over summer, but I would like... Well, in fact, actually, the Winter X Games, I think, had an expansion for Steep, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. The Olympics did. The Olympics did.
One of the two. But it's kind of the same. But for me, I mentioned it a second ago, but SSX. I could use a new SSX game. I actually really enjoyed SSX on the 360. Mm-hmm. It was really, really fun. And I would like another one. But
Graham, did you ever play Skate or Die?
No.
Okay. I did on the NES. Mm-hmm. And that game was something. Like, I remember at the time being like, this is so cool. And I guarantee if I booted up now, I'd be like, this is just dumb.
Yeah. I think I played Ski or Die, though, right? They had Ski or Die, right?
Maybe.
Like really, really old games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be a snowboarding game.
Yeah, stuff like that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I like that stuff.
All right, guys, let's wrap up questions. Let's get out of here. Anything else from you guys before we get out for the week?
No, just if you're going to be taking part in these tournaments, now's the time to practice up and sign up, and don't keep putting it off, because at one point it'll be too late and you're like, I missed it.
And I do want to stress one more time for the Madden tournament to everybody that you don't have to be an awesome Madden player to come take part. Like, it's okay. Like, if you just want to come meet people from the community, have a good time, that's what this is all about anyway. Like, there is a prize for the winner, but yeah, we just want you to come have fun. Like, if you have EA access, why not? Come do it, sign up, play, and you never know, you might have a great time, and you might win, a couple games, or win the whole thing, and get kind of a cool prize. So, sign up. We need a few more to just have like an even out bracket of 16 actually, and hopefully we'll get enough to do more than that. So come sign up, and there's a few more days of that, and we'll get it started next weekend. All right, that's going to do it, everybody, for episode number 112, and we'll be back next week. I do want to remind you, please join the community. Go to Facebook, the Gaming Hub forums there. Go to Twitch and follow us, TXH Gaming Hub on Twitch. From both of those, you'll get a link to our Discord channel. We encourage you to go there. That's the one we're probably the most active in because it's just super easy to jump in and out of there during the day at work and whatever. So we encourage you to go join that. And there's registration forms on both Discord and Facebook for the Madden tournament. So please take part in that. If you love the show and you want to help support us, you can sub to us on Twitch, or you can go to our Patreon channel or Patreon page, patreon.com/gaminghub, and take part there. And if you support us on Patreon, you can get exclusive content, which we'll have starting tomorrow, plus be entered to win a $60 game every single month. If you're at the $5 or higher level, and if you're at $10 or higher, you'll get all of that, plus a t-shirt and or coffee mug. So with that, that's going to do it for 112. We'll be back next week with 113. For Graham and Steven, I'm Tyler saying thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Catch some good
Bye.
Pokemon.